He was a very active person, always doing something. And he didn't do anything halfway. It was 100,000% of nothing.
He wasn't a bragger. He was kind. He was to himself. He was somewhat of a loner. He was a good brother.
My dad was never good around holidays, especially Christmas. He didn't feel like coming together. He wanted to be by himself. And so I think you started to see in the last couple of years that getting worse. And then the bottom dropped out, and I saw him have an anxiety attack for the first time when I was up visiting my parents. That's when I knew something was really wrong. I looked at him and I said, "Dad, let's go to the hospital." And he said, "Okay." And they went through a battery of questions, and one of the questions was, are you feeling suicidal? And he looked at them, and he looked at me, and he said, "Yes." At that point, I saw his heart break, and I told him, I said, "Dad, it's okay. It doesn't make you less of a person. I'm glad that you're being honest. At least now we can treat this." And he got an anti-anxiety injection. I brought him home. He felt much better, and things were looking up. But I didn't realize at that point that they were cycling through different medications to try to find the right one for him, and how dangerous that really was.
He came to my house and he says, "Bev, I'm having suicidal thoughts."
So my mom and my aunt brought him into the hospital again. The ER doc on staff said, take some vitamin D, and we don't have capacity. He asked if he could be admitted, and they didn't have enough space. There was no referral to another location, and you see the system fail.
They don't have the facilities to manage all that's going on. The state is full. The inpatient units are full.
Whether it's getting him the right medication, getting him the help and the support that he needed when he needed it, and he was asking for it. At that point, I think he gave up.
And in the meantime, he was still seeing a psychiatrist and psychologist, too. The next morning, he called me, and he says, "Bev, I would never do that. I would never kill myself. I wouldn't do that to you." 2 days later, he was dead. And I would never, ever blame him for what he did, because we just don't know what was going on in the trauma inside of him.
The thing that I've taken away from this is that the support systems that are required for people going through this just don't exist to the capacity that we need them to, because it's not visible, like a wound or a cut. People don't take it necessarily as seriously, but the symptoms are very real.
He was just such a kind man, and everybody loved him, and I don't think he realized how much he was liked and cared about. And
it's tough. You don't know who your friends are going to be through life. And when you find somebody like that even before I knew, what a great friend to have to impact your life, to share experiences with. And then even in passing, it seems to be that his presence is still here and making you aware of what he went through. But you take that and try to make something good out of it, because I know that's what he would have wanted.
I don't know what healing means. I think it's partly time, but I don't know if that hole ever closes.